I'm Chris Bell, physiotherapist for the Western Bulldogs. I'm here today on behalf of the Victorian Amateur Football Association and LifeCare. We're going to be running through some taping techniques and some injury prevention tips. Hope you enjoy. Now, the idea of today's taping is a little bit of a progression from what we did last time in terms of the basic ankle taping. What we're going to do today is we're going to do what's called a posterior impingement taping. So this happens to the athlete when they have a forced plantar flexion incident where the foot gets jammed down. Now this can happen when they fall onto their knees and their foot gets jammed into the ground, or it can happen with a kicking type episode or even in a common ankle injury. So the idea of this ankle taping is to prevent that back of the ankle getting jammed up. It's a bit of a differential diagnosis with Achilles tendinopathy. People with Achilles tendinopathy often have pain over the tendon and some pain on heel raise, whereas these people have pain where you really jam up that joint. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into a normal taping. You're going to have your protective strips over the tibia tendon, which is very, very important on this taping technique because we're going to have some strips of tape that run over that actual tendon. So we start off with similar to a basic ankle taping where we have the stirrups that we spoke about. We've got the primary anchor that we spoke about. So just basically do your stirrups again. And this forms a little bit of a framework for our taping, but also protects that lateral ankle ligament as we spoke about before. So we just have our plain stirrups. Then we actually go, and this tape doesn't have a lot of tension on it, so it literally just holds onto the skin. It goes around the midfoot part of the foot, okay? Once again, it doesn't have a lot of tension on it. The idea is this is an anchor that we're going to run some stirrups off. So as you can see, not a lot of tension, just sits around the midfoot, okay? Now as we said, we're trying to prevent that plantar flexion position. You can change the degree of the taping by the position of the foot, but today we're going to do one quite aggressively. We're going to hold it in a relatively neutral position. Okay, the first strip basically runs straight up the centre of the foot and attaches to the top part of the anchor. As you can see. Then the next two strips are going to form a cross over the front part of the ankle joint. So you can do this various ways, but the easiest one is to start on the bottom part of the ankle, come across and stick. As you see, we've got one strip coming across, and then we simply do the opposite on the other side. So stick, like so, and sort of trace it up, and the position of the foot's going to be the most important thing that holds the position of the tape. And as you can see, we've now got a cross coming across the ankle. Now, I'd typically repeat that to make sure we get extra reinforcement. Then, as you remember with our heel locks, it's best to heel lock this across the top to hold it all together. So once again, on a 45, coming around the calcaneus at the bottom part of the ankle, coming up, and finishing back where you started, back up the top. So do one of these either side. It helps to lock off the taping that we've discussed. Coming up and stick. So we've now got the heel locks locking our plantar flexion restriction taping in place. Then we lock off the top part of the taping with the repeat anchor. And then we do another one around the midfoot, literally to lock off again to stop that plantar flexion. Now often people say to me when they're getting this taping done, how am I going to play football in this? Believe it or not, really, really easily. You don't tend to notice it so much, and it restricts that plantar flexion as we've talked about, so it stops any impingement that's happening at the back part of the ankle joint. So a little bit more complicated than a simple ankle taping job, but really effective for those people that are getting pain at the back part of their ankle that's caused from the posterior impingement rather than Achilles tendon.